Here we go. Here we go. Oh God, we are here. It's Tuesday. Guess what? We back. Welcome, welcome from the battle to the glory. We are here. Guess what? You know it's about to get hot up in here. Everybody get your fans, get your tea, get your water ready. Cause listen, we got a treat for you. And listen, our guest is on their way. But before we get into that, listen, we got our boy Dad Mentality, the host of it. You know, Rodney, Big Rodney is in the building with us, y'all. And Lady T, of course, you know, and yours truly, Chef Denis. Yes, we are here in the building. Know this, when you leave here, you definitely going to be encouraged because that's what we do. We try to encourage you, inspire you to renew your mind, help you to renew your mind. And listen, without that, the love of God in our life, I don't know what we will be, man. So, you know, Rodney, how was your week, man? How's your week so far, man? Talk to us.
So far my week's been good. I'm glad I came in here on this topic, redefining your success through a spiritual lens, because since this journey that I've been on for the last 2 years, that one, A, getting closer with God, B, getting closer with myself, and just really trying to redefine my life. It's really changed a lot of things for me. So this week it has been a new beginning. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for what God has for me. I'm just taking it day by day, because really, you know how it is when you start something new. Your first couple weeks, you're just really absorbing information. So that's really what I'm trying to do now, is just absorb the information and see what's going to what needs to happen next. But other than that, man, my son is doing great in Idaho, and my daughter's getting ready to go to Towson, and my youngest son is just a great young man who's a student athlete that I'm excited to see what he's going to do next. Man, I'm truly blessed and highly favored, and just happy to be able to come hang out with my man Chef Denis, and of course Miss Lady T, who is really my favorite. I really come for you, T, just to let you know that. But I just deal with Chef Denis and his overwhelming criticism. But he's been actually doing pretty well. I've been watching the show, and I've been proud of some of the things that he says. I wish that then I was always working, so I couldn't send my comments as much as I want to. But I'm proud of watching some of his journey too. He's starting to be less closed minded. Because I remember when I first came here, remember Lady T, we used to say he always closed minded. There you go.
Wow.
So he's starting to be less closed minded. Hey man, that's a positive thing, brother. I'm proud of you.
I'm just wowing. That's it.
Yeah.
Lady T, how was your week so far? It's Tuesday. We still in the beginning of the week. How was your week? How was your weekend, shall I say?
Oh, I'm going through life changes, transitions, and I am having a come to Jesus time, a humbleness, a gratefulness. There is so much going on. I have to be protective of how I talk about life, because there's so many involved, and I don't want to, put anybody's business out there. So I really do try to protect people's, but I am going through. Trust me when I say I am going through. My life has changed in such a drastic way that it shocks you. It takes you like, oh, wow, this is happening. This is real. And so I'm going through that. And when I say that, I'm going through a career change. I'm going through a career life in revolution, I'm going to call it. It's a revolution right now. I have, talked about in the past where I work. I'm not going to go all in it. There's reasons for everything. And I am trusting. I have faith. I'm not worried. I am enjoying life. But I do see how the enemy likes to try me. and put these things in my way to make me get off and detour from the blissfulness that I have. I am really trying to pay attention to it and observe and not absorb, like take it in and put it in my spirit to put it in somebody else's. It's taking a lot right now. I'm going through it, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm only human.
Hey, if the devil isn't trying you, that means you're walking with him.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? I always say that and absorb that too. Not absorb, but observe that too. That hey, if you doing it right, then he should be coming after you.
Yeah, and it's leveling it out. It's holding the devil's hand and not squeezing too hard and letting that blood squeeze out on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to hold the devil's hand. You got to go through this. So I'm okay though.
Okay. Oh, here we go. We got he in the building, y'all. Look at the smile, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Coming in with the smile right there. P Styles in the building, y'all. This is our guest we was waiting for. He here right now. Listen, Lady T, she was letting us know how her week. So P Styles, tell us how your week is going so far. I know the news. You don't have to exploit that. That's your personal business, so you don't have to share that with the world. That's private. You shared it with me. So just other than that, how's your week going? How we at Tuesday right now, and so how's it been going for you, man? Tell us how it's going over there in Philly.
Oh, my week is going good, man. Can't complain. God is good. By the grace of God, we're here today. Can't complain. We woke up. We woke up, went to work, was able to see our families, our children, get through today and, just put through, all about, there's always power in prayer. So just trying to stand up.
I love it. I love it. I just let me give you a proper introduction, guys. So P Styles, I met him on Facebook, podcast for Facebook. And listen, I saw some of his work. Matter of fact, let me go back. No Game Changer Production sent them to me. I'm actually getting ready to do some collabo work with them. So I want to shout them out because that's who gave me Pete Styles, Game Changer Productions. So I just want to shout them out. I appreciate them sending him my way. He's a gospel rapper. I saw some of his work. It's on fire. You know what I'm saying? So I got to tell you this. I keep on saying this because I want people to be encouraged, being transparent and being forthcoming and let people know. Like, I wasn't a big man of gospel rap. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't. But then when I start, God been putting people into my life right now that's doing that, and I see they work, I see they drive, I see their zeal in doing it for God. And so I appreciate the ones that have touched my life. You are one of them. Came to this podcast, touched me with your presence, as well as doing something great for God. And so I appreciate you. I thank you for allowing us to have you on this platform. You know what I'm saying? And just have this conversation and let us know what you're doing in your life right now. You know what I'm saying? So I want to tell you, I appreciate you. I thank you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys for having me. It's an honor, it's a pleasure. Like I said, it's always good to network and meet, new brothers and sisters in Christ, and just to be able to use, platforms, just to, what I'm saying, just a fellowship. And
right.
It's a phenomenal thing. It's a grateful thing. And like I said, thanks to you for, having me here, and Game Changer, and Camille, she's phenomenal. She's awesome. And like I said, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah. So let everybody know where they can find you at, some of your music. So I like to always tell my guests that they're doing something like that. Let us know, let the viewers know where they can find your music and listen to you, man. Because like I said, it's on fire.
So as of right now, like I said, I'm recreating everything right now all over again because about like 4 months ago, 6 months ago, my Facebook everything got hacked. So I had to like create everything all over again. So like I do have a music page on Facebook. I do have YouTube. I have TikTok. I'm actually recreating a new Instagram. You can find me on Spotify. So like I said, you can basically find me on all platforms. But like I said, right now I'm just trying to. It's under construction right now, so I'm trying to put everything all together in pieces.
Okay, and they'll find you on the P Styles.
Yeah, peace out. So when I get
Okay.
right when we're done here, I'll put it on the chat, and you guys can find me, or I'll put the link on the chat here.
Yeah. Oh, Camilla, we definitely got you. We like I said, we appreciate you. You know, this is the definitely collaboration doing things, and look, that's what we want to do for one another, man. We always want to uplift one another, encourage each other, and try to do the best we can with this type of platform. It's always about encouraging and doing these things so other people can be inspired. Um, with that being said, redefining success through a spiritual lens. So we going because we have you, P Styles. What what does that look like for you? And explain to us how you see that redefining success through a spiritual lens.
So redefining a success through a spiritual lens. Well, like I said, just redefining the word by itself is just basically just basically just finding yourself in your spiritual walk. And what I'm saying, the walk is not easy, as we all say sometimes. It's a wild path, but we just have to be obedient. We have to be obedient in our walk, because if we're not obedient, then what's the point? I understand sometimes we all fall short. We all fall short, and there's a lot of people that I know that have fallen short. But all we can really do is, as brothers and sisters, try to uplift them, try to motivate them, and try to do the best we can to to pick them back up. And what I'm saying, just the lens in the spiritual world, which is a beautiful thing, because what I'm saying, everything's about our Lord and Savior. Everything's about feeling the Holy Spirit, feeling the presence of God, getting into the Word, which is the most important thing, right? Because if we don't get into the Word, then what we doing? We can't just say here and say, "Hey, we Christians," and not get into the Word. So that's how I kind of see it a little bit. So but yeah.
Okay, what about you, Lady T? We're gonna go right to you.
I think that you can hear me good, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that it more of a, I look at, okay, redefining success through a spiritual lens is more of a inner transformation, inner alignment. Everything Pete said is basically taking what life is bringing to you. I mean, look at it like this. We all come into this world as children. We make all of our bad decisions and mistakes, and then we learn from it. And then we have to, say inner thoughts, inner ways, inner behaviors, inner voice to have it aligned with God. God's purpose is to love God first and love thy neighbor. Love, love. And everything has to be about love. And it has to be leveled, and it has to be, balanced in a way where you got all the negative around you, but you can align it. You can align it perfectly. That is success to me through a spiritual lens. When you are able to take all that is going on in your life and all your spiritual growth as in a loving person, to be a loving person in the world, and be able to have success in being kind and being patient and being what love is, not envious, not boastful. There's so much that we have to learn about love, and aligning to that, that's really redefining your success through a spiritual lens, in my opinion.
Rodney, what about you?
All right. So when I saw this, the first thing that I thought of is, my journey now and my journey before I decided to really commit myself to God. You know what I'm saying? I grew up where I knew God. I grew up in the church. My mom made me, brought me to church, and I did have the backing. But back when I was young, I thought success was money. You know what I'm saying? I thought success was, things, having, getting a house, getting the cars, having money in your account. That was success. Well, now that I've dedicated, myself to God and getting and being closer to Him and being better, success has nothing to do with any of that. You know what I'm saying? Success for me now is giving Him the glory. You know what I'm saying? That everything that I do is for His glory. not for mine. You know what I'm saying? And to me, you know, success is definitely something that uh, even me right now, I'm still learning. You know what I'm saying? It's still in both things, in both aspects. Even when you're searching, looking for through that spiritual lens, I still feel like it's something that you have to continuously and always grow and evolve. You know what I'm saying? Because what success looked like when you were 18 and what success looks like now at 46 is total different things, even if you take it out of the spiritual lens. You know what I'm saying? But being in the spiritual lens now, it's like, is everything that I'm doing to the glory of God? Is my job to the glory of God? Is the way I'm raising my children to the glory of God? Is the way that I talk to my neighbors, the way that I talk to people out in these streets, or the crazy person that cut me off today? You know what I'm saying? Like, are all those things to the glory of God, and that's where success for me now in what you would call the spiritual lens is about. So that's kind of like in redefining it is, you know, for me, I feel like everybody has a different journey. You know what I'm saying? So my definition ain't gonna be the same as Chef Dennis or Lady T. You know, I think it's about getting close enough to God to figure out what your purpose is and what that is that God, you know, has put you on. I feel that everybody on this earth was put here for something. You know what I'm saying? And it's about figuring out what it is and then successfully moving in that direction to do what it is that God has put you on this earth to do and be. So that's I guess that's my definition or the way I looked at it when we got to this topic.
So as I look at it, the first thing that look redefining is the renewal of your mind. When you renew your mind, you have to understand the foundation of the renewal of your mind, the foundation. Because we look at spiritual, we got, let's keep it real. The spiritual aspect of it is from both spectrums, because you got the evil spirits, you got good spirits. So the renewing of your mind is the part that you know that God is going to lead you and direct you. And so your focus will be more clear because you're aligned with God. You know, because like I said, the enemy to our soul is a spiritual world. So you can be connected to that. And that's a spiritual lens, as well as, you know, looking at that from, you know, a natural perspective. But at the end of the day, you look at the foundation. If your foundation is Christ, that's the most important. And then redefining is the renewal of your mind. And as you renew your mind, you'll be able to see clearer in the spiritual lens of Christ, which he has for you. And your direction will be guided by that spirit. And so when you look at it from that angle, you got to understand one thing. Your foundation has to be on Christ. You have to be aligned with what he has for you, your purpose in life, and you have to be in line with that. And once you're in line with that, then you can see from that spiritual lens. You know, until you reach that point, your vision be cloudy sometimes, because you think the things that are good to you and feels good, you may think it's from God, but the enemy can trick your mind, and when he trick your mind, you be like, oh, that's good, it's all right, it's simple. But at the end of the day, it's the agenda that's hidden that you can't see sometimes. And that's why the spiritual lens is important, because guess what? The enemy is real cunning. He know how to trick your mind to the point where you be like, oh, this is okay, this is of God. You got to remember, he knows the word as well, so he can use words that can trick your mind to manipulate you. And so that's why it's important to redefine, renew the mind. And as you do that, guess what? As you renew your mind, your heart will be open to receive what God has for you, and to the wisdom that will partake. You and God will partake together. And so that when I looked at that, that's what I was saying. Redefining success through the spiritual lens is that the renewal of your mind, as well as the relationship. What relationship do you have? Is it on that foundation, which was Christ? And so, you know, that's important. And so
Let me add something. I was listening to all you guys, and everything you said, I agree with. But I also think about what I'm going through in my life right now is a lot of humility. I have a lot of humility, and I think that that is a very good way of serving. Is lowering oneself in humility and not of status, but to serve. We are here to be of service. We are here to serve one another. That's what Jesus did. He served people, and so humility comes only through, truly, surrendering to God and say, there's nothing else that I can do but you can provide. You can make this happen for me. That is a humility thing. That is something that we have to humble ourselves and not be so prideful and not allow ourselves to think that we're going to be able to answer all the questions and things are going to be the way it's going to be. But we trust. That is also something that I feel like we as people need to learn how to do a lot more. Humility. And you know what? It may make you look like a fool. So what? Who cares? Because nobody cares about the way you look. They're gonna talk about you. Oh, so sad. They talk about everybody. Come on now. We need to have strong skin, thick skin, because humility means you don't talk. You don't say things. You don't react. You don't respond. You just observe. You pay attention. So humility, I mean, I'm learning that too, because listen to the way I talk. Do I sound like I'm a humble person? Do I?
I like it.
we know you like it. Shut your punk mouth.
I like it. I understand what you're saying, but I still believe there's a cockiness too.
Yeah.
When you got God on your side, why not be confident? Like, why not? But I understand that you have to have humility. I can't even say the word, humility as well. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I just feel like as long as I got God in my corner, why, I can be humble, but but I also can be very much proud of where I am and what I'm doing in Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, I don't. Go ahead, Pete.
Yeah, go ahead, P.
Now, I was gonna say, why not? Stand tall in your 2 feet, and you know what I'm saying. You represent God. You serve an amazing King. Why not stand tall? And sometimes you gotta act a little brolic sometimes and be like, yo.
But there's a balance. That is what I'm saying. There's a balance to it. I agree with both of you, but it's a balance. And that thing of humility, we don't know how to really serve other people because we can be so prideful. There's a service that we are to do, and not sit up here and say, oh, well, I'm going out there and I'm, feeding people and that's my service. It's just like you said, Rodney, about, the circumstances, how you treat people when they treat you wrong. You gotta be humble to not respond in a way where they lash out and more confusion and chaos. But I know what you're saying. So it's a balance. It's a balance to it all.
Yeah, it is definitely a balance. It's definitely a balance because, like I said, you can't be too prideful because I've been also seeing too, like, there's many alter egos where you got to leave your egos at the altar, So I definitely understand where you're coming from.
You that's part of the characteristics of just being a follower of Jesus Christ, Lady T, is humbleness. You know what I'm saying? Meekness. We talked about this before. Meekness. You know what I'm saying? They don't use that word often because that's another word for humble. You know what I'm saying? But just and not being prideful. But also you got to realize, once you stand for Christ, yeah, you always gonna be talked about. There's always gonna be somebody backstabbing you. The people that are close to you are the ones who do the worst. You know what I'm saying? They are the ones who do the most damage. You know why? Because they know you. And it's just the same thing. The enemy know you, right? But he can't read your mind, but he know you. So he's like I said, he's real cunning. And why you think the four of us, I'm including myself, the four of us, I guarantee you, if a family member did something to us and we thought we had a good relationship and they backstabbed us, we gonna feel some type of way. It's gonna hurt us more than a person that's we don't know versus somebody we know. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens. Is because guess what? we're vulnerable to our family because we talk to them, we open up to them, and guess what? They be the ones who hurt us the most because guess what? We not expecting that, and so that's why our humility comes in. That we like, you know what? It's okay. We got to be forgiven, and it's not easy to be forgiven because, but then if you think about how God forgives you, you should be able to be. It should be easy for you to forgive somebody else. And some people say, "Oh, I can't forgive that person." Okay, how many times you did something wrong and God forgave you, and you know you should be punished for what you did, and that's only between you and God. And so people don't see it like that. Some people are like, I'm not forgiving this person. I don't care what it is, no matter what you do in life. God is a forgiving God, and we as humans on this earth should be able to do the same thing. But some people can't. They can't forgive. They be like, "Oh, I can't forget this. They did me wrong." Okay. Did you do anything? Did you do anybody else wrong? Did you mistreat somebody else? Go ahead, Rodney, because I know you want to say something. Go ahead.
Once you get into forgiveness, you know I'm gonna say something because
Yeah.
I don't believe how convicted you are. They're like, oh, it's so easy. Look at this. Look at me. Oh yeah, I forgive. Like I just can't because you know what? I struggle with forgiveness.
Oh,
And I
okay.
did see that Pete had a TikTok about forgiveness too. And I when I watched it, and I was like, yo, I was like, okay, my man, I was excited about having him in here because I want to know his take on forgiveness. My take is so, because my take is I struggle with it. You know what I'm saying? I struggle. I am petty and I hold grudges. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that I pray about every day. And still for the most part, I'm getting better, but it's still a struggle. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
And go
I'm
ahead. Pete.
me pers me personally, I always been like when it came to for like forgiveness, I've always been how you say it, like I was just always a forgiveness person. Like so many people can have. I've been through so many like struggles with like friends and different situations in the past, and I don't know. I just have that heart where I just forgive. I can't sit here. It's hard for me to hold grudges. It's hard for me to do it. There's times where I went through battles with my family, like my own blood brothers, and what I do is, I just leave everything in God's hands, and I just forgive. Like once I walked into Christ, 6 years ago, once I started, doing my thing, changing my life, met my wife. Like I said, I've been married about 13, 11 years, 13, 12 years, got kids and everything. And like I said, what was it? COVID 2019. That's when I gave my life to Christ completely. I gave my life to Christ completely. Started changing, started acting, way different. The way I talk, the way I try to approach myself with people, and just, trying to, kind of like, trying to stop cursing. And because like I got kids, I got a 1 year old, I got a 10 year old, I got my stepson, he's 18. So I got to be the bigger example. You know what I'm saying? I got to be the king here at the house. And same thing with my wife. My wife, she's also too. She serves the Lord. She's deeply into it. Reads the Word faithfully. She's completely a ball game. She's my backbone. That's my right hand. But when it came to forgiveness, like I said, once I started, starting getting into the Word, changing the way I act, changing the way I dress, starting, just the way I approach things, and my brothers seeing that, and they would like try to make fun of me. Oh man, every time like I would talk to them, they would bring up, oh man, we can't talk like that no more because you served this one. They'll make fun of me. Oh, you got to be careful because Pete's here now, or they'll try to like make a godly joke or something like that. And in reality, me personally, I wasn't feeling it. I would kind of get serious, but I'm telling myself that Pete, relax, chill. And they started seeing that I started doing the music because I ain't gonna lie, I never did music a day in my life. As soon as I got into Christ, started serving Christ, never did anything, never wrote a book, never wrote anything. And then once I started, serving the Lord, I started doing music 3 years ago, and little by little, because like I said, that is my goal is try to reach the youth, try to reach the lost ones. But I guess my family started seeing my music, the music videos. Oh man, you making a fool out yourself, man. Look at you, man. Who you think you are? this and this
Wow.
and that, but knowing that I have a big support behind my back. I got you guys. I know a whole bunch of people now. I've collabed with people from Texas, Florida, a whole bunch of people. Knowing that they make, oh man, you look like a fool. People say you look silly. Oh man, you look retarded, man. You swear that you're about the Lord, man. This and that. And all I can do is just pray. And to this day, I just forgive. I say I ignore them, but guess what? Now they accept me for who I am. They don't curse around me. They don't bash to me anymore. They don't say anything. And you know what? That at the end of the day, you know what they tell me now is God bless you.
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
bless you. God
Can I
God bless you.
real
Go
quick,
ahead, bro.
Pete? So can you tell me when did your what like what's your testimony? What made your journey to make you give your life to God? What happened there?
Uh, so when I first met, I used to go to church when I was younger, when I was little with my mom. She used to go to a Catholic church, but I'm younger, I'm a kid. I was like, nah, I don't want to feel like going to church, cranky, having a tantrum all the time, didn't want to go. So as years passed by, I got older. I met my wife in 2013. She was already going to church, and she will always try to like bribe me to go. I didn't want to go until one day, it was a Mother's Day weekend, and she was like, come on, come, test it out. I said, okay. I went. I went. I really wasn't, feeling it. And then, like I said, once 2019 came, my mother-in-law, she attended this church called City Reach. Um, and then the job I was working at, a coworker, come to find out the coworker that was there went to the same church as my mother-in-law. And they used to always bribe me, come to this church, man. And I used to always be like, yeah, I'll be there Sunday, I'll be there Sunday. And then that one Sunday, I end up going, and it's like as soon as I walked into them church doors, it was a whole different ball game. Like I felt like the chills, like I felt like I belonged here. Like I felt like this was like something I had never felt before. And at that moment, I didn't know what like the Holy Spirit was. I didn't know what it was, but I just felt like this chills in my body. And me and my wife, we just holding hands, and she felt the same way. And I just felt like my kids were with me too. And man, when they was like, they already preached the word. I was really focusing on the word that day, and they was like, "Hey, look, don't be ashamed. Don't humble you. Don't hold yourself back. If you want to just come to the altar and just release whatever you're going through, whatever is holding you back, please come to the altar." When I say I went to that altar and cried like a baby, I never in my life have I cried like that. I cried and I released whatever I had inside me that was blocking me from so many times from coming to church. Man, I got on my knees, I raised my hands, and I just started crying. And then from that moment on, I would told myself this was the best feeling ever. Like I closed my eyes and all I saw was just a white light. And then ever since that, I felt like heaviness just came out of my body. Heaviness just came out of my body, and I felt like the chills. I was shaking. The pastor had his hand over me and you just praying for me. And ever since that, bro, that's when. And then ever since that day, about like 3 weeks after that moment, I got baptized. I got baptized, and man, ever since that, I can never go back to my old ways. I can never go back to my old ways from the person who I was. And I'm just so grateful that, well, basically on Ronnie, that's how basically I got into, started serving Christ. Was ever since from that moment, man. It was the best feeling ever. Just and they always say when you get into start, start being a new creation and everything, you get that fire, first love. And man, I was just every single day it was just man rolling, man. everything was just God this, God that, God that. And there was times where I used to tell people like, yo, you can't talk like this, you can't be like this, you can't do it like that.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. Nah. You know, because I get on Chef Dennis because that's yeah. Go ahead. I'm listening.
No, hey, listen, hey, look,
You got the
P,
fire, and then you first thing you did was tell everybody else what they can't be doing, right?
Hey, P, hey, hold on, P. No, see, he don't understand that. Look, I'm gonna chime in real quick. That's everybody. That's everybody that when they first come to Christ, I don't care if they tell you they don't do that, they lying. Hey, Rodney, every time when a person start from their wicked ways going to this new creation, they want to tell everybody because it's a zeal on the inside, bro. It's undeniable. And so that's why I'm back here laughing, because I know I used to be like, I'm going to the subway. I'm like, this God is real. I'm like, yo, what? That's right. I look just like you, and I'm talking about Jesus Christ. Bro, I'm trying to tell you, it's something. And but then look, watch this. And Pete gonna agree with this, and everybody else. Listen, but guess what? And that's where the humbleness come, because guess what? You know what happens? And I know he can relate to this. He can relate to this too. You know what happens after that zeal? It's the rejection. Because now you got this joy, this undeniable feeling, and nobody want to listen. And so now you feel bad because, like, hold up, why I feel like this, and I'm trying to tell somebody else, and they like, I don't want to hear that. And that's the season when the rejection comes, because God preparing you for that, because there is going to be a time when nobody want to hear that. They don't want to hear nothing about God. They're like, I'm living my life. I got free will. I can do what I want to do. And that's when you get humbled.
They living in life, and I felt like I was just like the man that still, I had my chin up high, man, and just
that's
just excited every single day, bro. And yeah, and I was just like, literally, there was times where I'll be driving in my car with like the worship music on blast and me singing my life away. I love you, Jesus, this and that. And then people just be like, oh, don't act like that now. Just a few months ago or whatever, you were somebody else, bro. You know what I told them? I'm a changed man. But that's what like I said, that's when I was just, my ego was high. I was feeling the fire. I was feeling the love. And I was just, but throughout the years and, getting deeply more into the word and just having mentors from the church and different brothers try to, that humbleness, try to humble this down and telling myself like, yo, P, it's good to feel that way. It's good to feel that way. But, it's a certain way to do things. But like I said, I'm just happy that, I'm changed. I serve an amazing Father, and I'm happy to say it. I'm just grateful, and I'm able to do things like this, speak to you guys and different people to this day, man. Just serve out in the community too. And another thing I'm actually working on is prison ministry with my brother Danny Breezy. We have a thing called Kingdom Business Music Group, where it's not only just music, but we go out. Like we was just in Maryland in April, testifying our testimonies and performing also too, and just meeting different people. So like I said, I'm grateful for where I'm at right now.
And I understand that truly. Like I feel that, I feel that coming from you. It's like it's nothing but love, peace. Because I was sitting here laughing. Because Lady T, I'm telling, am I lying, Lady T? I know when you first came to Christ, you was like, yo, God said, no, you can't do that. And then God had to God humble us, because it's a time for everything. There's a season for everything. Look, we talked about this before. It's a season for everything. So sometimes God will want to send you to a place to speak. Sometimes He's going to send you to a place just to be quiet and listen, because you need to be prepared for the next job, that next task that He had for you. If you go in there telling somebody, oh, well, God said this. No, guess what? No, God said, I sent you here to be quiet. Listen, see what's going on right now. So when you leave this location, now you'll be equipped to handle what I'm going to send you to, because now you see what's going on. You see what's going on in the atmosphere. Now I'm preparing you so you'll be well equipped to handle those people and speak to them the way I tell you to speak to them. It's not, sometimes you go to a place, it's not for you to speak, it's for you to listen and be humble, because guess what? You got to be prepared for the next task that he has for you. And I had to learn that the hard way. You know what I'm saying? Going always talking about some God this, God that. They be like, huh? Oh no, I want, man. And I'm gonna keep it real with you, P. Listen, my thing was this. They say, and family members said this, how you gonna be talking about God and drinking? I said, hold up. You don't never see me drunk. You might see me have two beers and maybe 2 shots. You ain't gonna see me. See, that's, hey, I know me. Like, I'm not prescribing anybody to go out there and drink. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna be transparent, honest. Some people don't do it. I'm one of the few that I do, and I keep myself composed. I don't go crazy, because guess what? I know that's where the trick of the enemy comes in. I'm not telling nobody to go do that, but let's be real. Let's be real with one another. You got to be honest and transparent. And like I said, I might do that, but I there's a cutoff for me. Because guess what? I never want to get behind the wheel and be drunk and I kill somebody. That's number one. Number two, I never want to be in a position where I can't control it. And so when you overdo it and overindulge in that, you can't control that. And then once you can't control it, guess what? You allow the enemy to come right on in, trick your mind, manipulate you, and now you've been bamboozled. He got you. Right, his hooks is right there waiting to get you. Go ahead, Lady T. I know you want to chime. I see the hand go wiggle.
I think it's all about it's a spiritual maturity. You know, we all have to go through the phase of learning how to communicate mercy, justice, truth. Mercy of having compassion for other people. You know, the outcasts and the broken, the ones that are hurting. You know, that's compassion. That's having mercy for those that we might look and say a judgment on them. You know, maturity. It takes spiritual maturity for us to learn how to do that, and that's a journey that we all grow in. You know, it's not, we all talk about humility and everything, but we're going to have to learn how to behave with one another through everybody's different circumstances. So that I think that's a spiritual maturity of learning how to be merciful, to be just, and be truthful to one another, to ourselves first. You have to do it for yourself first, right? And then you can do it to another person. God lives within you. So know how to do that for yourself, you know, to know what God is truly trying to teach you about what love is. And that's a spiritual, growth that we all go through in our journey. I think that once we figure out that we love the Lord, we want to serve the Lord, we want to be about the Lord's business by giving love and showing love and, taking away our old ways. The old ways are going to be there. Please believe me, it's going to be in your backside for you to be reminded about it. And sometimes you might have to cross this path and step on it or be involved in it and have mercy on yourself to know that you are forgiven. You will fall and fumble, but guess what? Get back up. We have to teach how to, make ourselves warriors, in Christ. We have to learn how to put on the armor. We have to learn how to put on the talk of what we say we read in the Bible and express it to other people. I always hear about, a lot of people express how, their journey has been in the life. But when you really want to touch somebody, speak directly to them and to what they need. Don't sit up here and sugarcoat it with your experiences. Say exactly what needs to be said. Because that's wasting time. That's wasting energy. But you have to say what needs to be said. And what needs to be said sometimes may hurt. It may sting. But guess what? When you have a cut on your arm and you put alcohol, it stings. Sometimes it stings. Truth hurts sometimes. Sometimes it's like you need that. And sometimes we are not able to accept it, but we need to learn how to accept it. We need to teach that, especially for the youngins right now. I mean, good Lord, I do not understand why they think the way they do. I'm learning about them. I'm like, my daughters are older, so I'm seeing how they think. And I'm like, okay, I have to talk differently, but I connect with them. So, but I see how the disconnect is there. And that's why I think it's very important of how we speak today and how we speak to one another and our children, because they're growing up and they're hearing us.
Yeah. For me, I agree with a lot of things you say. Except the thing for me is that, and this is just how I feel that you really have to. Your talk is what it is talk. If you're not really out here living that life and doing and practicing and showing, because I mean, I'm just going to talk for myself, because the first thing I did when I was young is test somebody. When they came and they started talking to me about who they was, what they went through, and things like that. The first thing I did was test them as a young man. You know what I'm saying? And it's very quickly about how, if the first thing you did was judge me, then I didn't want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I fortunately was raised with a mother that was very good at no judgment. Like, you can come to my mother about anything and have a conversation with him. My mom took women off the street on several occasions. You know what I'm saying? That were going through things. When I say off the street, I'm not saying like they were, but they were going through something, whether their home wasn't safe, whether they needed it, they just needed some time to get their life together so that they can get out there and get on their own, whatever it may be. My mother never judged anyone, and even me. You know what I'm saying? Even me throughout the years, and I did some crazy things. Now, I was smart enough not to let her find out a lot of it. But even if it came out, my mom still loved me the same. Like, she loved people the same, and that's the one thing I am good at. I am petty and don't forgive, but I don't judge anyone. When I'm out here and I'm talking to these young kids and having a conversation, the biggest thing they say is that I just watch me and you'll see. I'm not gonna, I have a job where I hire and interact with a lot of kids, and the first thing I say during our interview to these kids is the only thing I want you to give me is exactly what I give you. So if I'm never cursing you out, if I'm never talking to you in a disrespectful manner and this, that, and the other, then that's exactly what I want back from you. You know what I'm saying? And the kids really see that that's how I am. Like, I've had them test me. The first thing, and I already know it's coming. The first thing they do is they want to test you, and they want to, start, talking with their hands and clapping and doing all this other kind of crazy stuff. And and once they see that, then and it's still it's going to take time and time again. But after a while, if you stay true to who you are and stay true to God, the test will stop. And it's the same thing like what Pete said. You know what I'm saying? His family, he got there, he came to God. What they do? They test him. Oh, we got to drink, we got to do this, we got to do that. And for me, that's exactly what it is in my walk. So I don't respond. I don't sit there and go, what you call it, but I am very confident in who I am. And when I get the opportunity to really prove it to that person, then I'm definitely one that'll be like Chef Denis. I'm excited. I'm like, oh yeah, now I get to show you what I've been talking about. Now you really see it right here. You know what I'm saying? That I'm not, that is not a game. If you follow him and you do the things that he asks you to do, the benefits will be great no matter what it is. You can't fail. You know what I'm saying? You can't fail. And that's the biggest thing that, I like to say also that, that talking sometimes you just got to show. Like, you got to really be what you out here, trying to be. So,
hey, Rodney,
now, yes, sir.
I want to go back to something, because we didn't get into it with you because we let P Styles talk about it. But I want to go back to you about the forgiveness thing. I want to go back to you with that. I want to go back to that. You know why you struggle with forgiveness, or do you still struggle with that?
Yeah, I still struggle with it because
I want to know. I want to know why you still struggle with that. I really want to know why.
The biggest thing about forgiveness to me that I struggle with is that I have a very sarcastic mouth, temper, and personality. And when somebody does you wrong, then the first thing you want to do is lash out. You know what I'm saying? And for me, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Like I want to, you know, if you did me wrong, then hey, I'm all good. But guess what? I'm real, you know, I have to hold it back. Like I'm over here, you know. I mean, look how quickly I want to say something to you when you say something wrong. You're my friend. Imagine if you're my enemy.
But what I want to understand, what I want you to understand is that when you talk about God, right? Mm-hmm. You know God is merciful, right?
I do.
Do you do everything that you're supposed to do?
Do I do everything that I'm
that's pleasing to him? That's pleasing to him.
I definitely tried my best.
But when you do something that's not pleasing to him, do he scold you? Do he that when you know you need to be scolded? He don't do that. He show you mercy. So if he can show you mercy, how you can't show somebody else mercy? On a daily basis, he show everybody, even when they don't deserve mercy and grace, he shows them that. And so any human being that can't do that, that's why I said I want to go back to that, because guess what? You open up your heart to forgive no matter what, because guess what? He do that to you. Not just to you. Yo, even the people that's not doing that's doing things that's not pleasing to him. He's not satisfied, and he still showed them mercy and grace. So as a follower and a believer, guess what? You got to lay that at the altar and say, you know what, God, that's yours. I can't deal with that. You deal with that. I can't deal with it because that's so much pressure. I don't want that. I don't want that because guess what? Anxiety can cause so many different things for us. That's pressure on the heart to allow somebody to consume you with that. I want to get him back. Nah, hey, God, you got that. Lady T, I know you want to say something, but I'm gonna let you get in. Hold on, I'm gonna let you get in. But know this. I guarantee you, when you start to do that, you'll see it. You'll start to see it differently. Because guess what? I know. Listen. I know there's gonna be people that's gonna be against me. I know there's gonna be people that's gonna want to beat me up because what I'm saying. Because I'm saying the truth, not my truth. It's the truth. It's something that they need to hear. Guess what? They don't want to hear it, but I'm saying it because guess what? I'm led to say it in the right time. And guess what? They might not want to hear it, but guess what? I already know what to expect. I know I'm gonna get the backlash because that's what happened. When correction comes upon us, guess what? We don't want to hear it, but it's something that we need to hear. And guess what? That I expect that. I expect them to feel some type of way because I'm saying it with a clean heart, a heart of love that's unconditional. There's nothing. I don't want nothing from it, but I want to see them do great. I want to see them be successful. Let me hit the bell, man. Because Lady T got
real quick. I just want to say, Luvu, we don't know what happened to Pete. Maybe his camera cut off or something. Just we're trying. If he comes back into the room, we'll definitely bring him back in.
Yeah. So look, I know what he's saying because look, there are personalities. Everybody has different personalities. We're all not the same. Yeah. So Rodney,
I'm good at no judgment, and I feel that Chef Denis is terrible at no judgment. He's getting better, but I still feel he's very bad at it.
Yeah.
What you mean?
We all have our weaknesses.
It's about personalities, It's all about personality. We sometimes there are people that can joke all the time. I love them jokesters. I will laugh, and it might be wrong for me to laugh at. I still will laugh. I can't help it, but that's because they're lighthearted. They have an open heart. They're not rigid, and I kind of come off as rigid, so I kind of appreciate people that can make me laugh, because it's hard for me to even crack a joke sometimes. So I feel like that's a balance for me. So people like that, I can understand where they come from. Like everything is criticized in a way because they take light of it, but yet they're looking at it to say, oh, I see you. Or I'm going to say something too. You know what I mean? Like I get it. I completely get it, Rodney.
There's always truth in the joke. There's always some truth in the joke. There always is. And some people can take them, some people can't.
Yes.
But it's really not the joke you're upset about. It's the truth in the joke that you're upset about. I do explain that to people. But yeah, I do. y'all know I did stand-up comedy. I'm a comic guy, you know what I'm saying? I like having fun, I like enjoying it. A lot of my friends that I do the podcast with are all comedians. And they're even learning this, you know. I struggle, you know. Hey, look, I go on the other show. I have my boy Molly, and I love Molly to death, but Molly picks on me. You know what I'm saying? He picks on me about, you know, my walk with God and what I'm doing. You know, now he says I'm confused. He was like, yeah, you know, who am I talking to? Am I talking to the Beast One? I'm talking to Rodney Glover. You know, I don't got time for your confusion and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, but it's my journey. You know what I'm saying? It's my journey that I'm on. I'm trying to get better. And the problem with me is I can take a joke. Hey, I can take a joke and everything's good. But, you know, when it comes to forgiveness, going back to that, you know, yeah, once you cross me on a different level, you know, jokes is good. But once you cross me on a different level, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm working on it and I pray about it every day. Cause I like and I still say it out loud. You know what I'm saying? I got one person that I struggle and bring it up to God all the time. And I don't interact with this person. I don't see them. I don't, what you call it, they're not even there. It's not even a good possibility I'll ever run into them again. But if I do, it's going to be a point where I'm going to be asking for forgiveness because I'm not going to be happy. And it's not going to be, you know, bless you, brother, I forgive you, and I hope, nah, it's not going to be none of that. You know what I'm saying? And even if he came and apologized, I tell him to get out of my face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
well, we got to help you clean that up.
Working,
we got to clean that up.
Hey, man, I talk about it.
Yeah,
freely.
And I'm your brother. I look. Nobody else can say that. I can say it to you because I love you. Like I ain't no joke. When I say, you already know me. When I say I love you, and that right there, you gotta release that. You gotta release that.
More like you need to ask God to heal you on that.
Yeah,
that too. Healing is part of releasing.
Healing has to only come from God.
That's part of releasing
your heart every day.
That's it.
And I definitely need healing. You know what I'm saying? I definitely need healing. It is getting better. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is getting better. But every time I sit there and I deeply think about it, I really start, I can feel the anger coming back. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that, you know, and even people have been telling me, you know, well, don't give it power. Don't talk about it. I'm like, well, I feel like the only way I'm going to really get through it is to talk about it, is to put it out there that I'm flawed. You know what I'm saying? Like, as much as I come on this show and come on any show or do my, I tell other people all the time, yeah, I'm not perfect. I'm flawed every day. Every day is a struggle. You know what I'm saying? Every day is a struggle. I'm not like Chef Denis, where I'm always perfect all the time, according to him. So, you know, I have my flaws, but I feel that talking about my flaws is it's my weakness and it's also my strength. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, when I talk about my flaws, and maybe it's the comic part about me, but whenever I talk about my flaws, I feel like I'm taking the power away from you, because now you can't say something because I've already said it. So, you know, what are we talking about? Like, you're just going to tell me something I already said, then, you know, then we can keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? But if you can help me get past it, then we can have a conversation. But, you know, when you do that, people do try to use that against you. But for me, it just doesn't hurt me, because I'm open about it. I'm open about, you know, the things that I struggle with. So
Yeah, you know, forgiveness is hard. It's hard. Something that we all have, you know, to learn how to do, because if we are truly honest with ourselves, we're really not forgiving other people. We're all hypocrites. So, you know, that we have to be honest. And so I think that when you can acknowledge it and you say it out loud, you are having your spiritual growth. That is your journey. That's your walk into it. So you are maturing.
You talking to Ronnie? He's maturing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Because he's speaking about it, because a lot of people don't talk about, how they don't forgive because they are hypocrites. They don't see themselves. They don't even know that they are the hypocrite and they're actually not forgiving somebody, but that they're talking about them or, making themselves so pious and everything.
Hey, Lady, but you did say something that was like so profound for real. And that was tell God for Rodney to work on his heart. Because that's what happens when you feel like you did something wrong. God will place that feeling on your heart, and you be like, you know what, this ain't right, and you know what, let me fix this, or let me say I'm sorry, or I shouldn't have did that. I my wife and me, we don't argue. I keep saying that. I tell the people we don't argue, right? But when I do something wrong, it's like I'd be like, no, you ain't supposed to speak to her like that. So I'd be like, oh my goodness, I gotta go back and say, my bad, baby. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have spoke to you like that.
How do you say you don't argue, but then you prove that you argued?
No, it's my response. It's my response. It's my delivery. It's my delivery that how I spoke to her was incorrect. And so I gotta be humble enough to say, and I'm telling you, he humbled me. I'd be like, oh my goodness. And I gotta be like, my bad. I shouldn't have said it like that. I should have said it a different way. And it's always my delivery. Delivery is everything, because it depends on how you say it to a person and how they receive it. And so you got to be mindful of how you deliver something to somebody, because everybody don't receive it the same way. Me and you talk our language is different versus me and Lady T's. Our language is different. Go ahead. What you want? You put your hand up like you in school.
Yeah, because I'm curious to what is an argument to you then? Because to me, an argument is if I'm speaking to my wife in a tone that I have to now apologize, then we must be arguing. That's what it seems like to me, because I don't understand, because I don't talk. I guess I don't. The only time I talk to my wife in a tone that I then feel like I have to apologize is when we're arguing. So maybe I don't understand when you say me and my wife don't argue, and then you say I have to apologize. I had to apologize for the way I was talking to her or the tone I was talking to her. Then weren't y'all arguing?
Nah,
I don't. That's what it sounds like to me. That's all I'm just.
All right. So my wife be like, you talking to me like I'm a child. There you go. See, and if she received it that way, then I'm like, okay, I might have said it to make her feel like a child, and that's not an argument. But see how she said it to me. She's like, yo, you talking to me like I'm a child. Like I might be like demanding, like you gonna do this or you got to do this. And so she's like, you ain't my father. You see what I'm saying? It's not an argument. So she's like, you talking to me like I'm your child. Nah, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. So I'll be like, all right.
Over here.
Right, now I don't be saying all, but like
get over here, cook some grit.
Right.
So yeah, so that I don't practice in that. Look, y'all tease me about that. Yeah, I walk away, man. I ain't trying. I don't got no energy for that, bro. I got energy for some other stuff. I don't got no energy for argue. I don't got it. See you later. Be out. I'm out,
man.
Yeah, I don't argue, bro. I don't got time for all that. I'm out of here. Whatever. I'm running.
The opposite. I like
it because but see,
Lady, me too. I run to the smoke.
Right.
You show me smoke, I'm running.
Hey, look, you run into the smoke, but you don't know the outcome.
It don't matter.
It don't matter. All right. So in other words, you say, oh, it's a fire. Let me go into the building. Nah, I'm like, all right, well, you know what? Let me call some help.
I'm talking about you. Hey, if I'm right, you say I'm wrong, we gonna talk about it. It ain't gonna just be like, you know what, I'm gonna walk away. Nah, buddy. We gonna talk about this until we get somebody comes to a resolution.
Yeah, that's how it used to be back in the day. How everybody, resolved their problems. They talked it through.
Mm-hmm. I believe in. I've said it on my podcast. I believe in arguing in front of my kids. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Because the biggest thing I want to show them is that you can argue, still love each other, and come back together. Yeah. Like I remember the day I told my daughter came in there, yo, stop it, blah blah blah, crying and this, that, and the other. And I told her I was like, baby, you got to realize when people having foreplay. I was like, this ain't no real argument. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't breaking up. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be in the room later, and you're gonna have to put on headphones.
Oh, so, Lord, I mean,
so So either you can, but I mean, it's just being honest with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you got to realize that. And now my daughter, she does not freak out. She doesn't cry and all that shit. If we're arguing, she's just like, can y'all get a room now? You know what I'm saying? Like, she's like, can y'all get a room about it? Because to be honest with you, once you have that kind of relationship, like me and my wife know neither one of us is leaving. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and plus we're way grown in our relationship now that, I mean, we can have an argument and still laugh about it later. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's more valuable than not having it. But I mean, for me, I can't let it go. I mean, I just told you forgiveness and petty. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I am not letting it go. Like, it's like, I don't care if it's 2 weeks later, we're gonna have this conversation. We gotta work this out.
Yeah, like, ooh, I got my opportunity. I'm about to have this conversation.
Yeah, like, and the crazy thing is I have to tell my wife all the time that because my wife doesn't want to, a lot of times she don't want to argue. My wife does not have that spirit either. But the thing, I take that back, because my wife has two personalities, and Victoria does not argue. But her other personality, I call her LaShera, she argues with diplomatic immunity. You know what I'm saying? Because she'll say something that don't make no sense. And a lot of times that's when I do have to walk away. Because when I see that she's just hurling what I call Hail Marys, then that's when I gotta be like, all right, let me wait till I get Vicky back so we can actually work this out to a real conclusion, opposed to, the defense mechanism. And a lot of people have that. I got my own defense mechanism. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but it's just about learning your person. You know what I'm saying? But at no time are me and my wife talking about, I want a divorce and this, that, and the other. Nah, we ain't doing that, because we already realized neither one of us going together. There's nothing that makes me more happy than to get in the bed knowing my wife's angry, because I'm not going nowhere. Like, you gonna have to figure this out. Because I'm gonna get right in this bed and I'll be toodalooing right in there. Toodaloo. You okay? You all right? How you feeling? You look a little bitter, but whenever you're ready to talk, I'm here and I'm ready. So
Listen, fellas. I said fellas. I'm sorry, ladies and gents. That was a peace out. So right now, I told you earlier, that's his business, so I'm not going to expose it, but something's going on. So he got some bad news. So I just want to let your guys know that. So that's why he didn't come back. He texted me. All right, sorry to interrupt you. Yeah.
But I mean, we can go back into the spiritual lens thing too, because I mean, when you're not of God and you know that. But I mean, arguments are healthy, in my opinion.
Yeah,
arguments are healthy, and like I said, it just is something that to me, when you ignore it, you all right. So for me, when I ignore something that is wrong with my wife, it becomes a monster. It becomes something totally different. If we don't talk about it and work it out quickly, within a week, it's something that I don't even know what it is anymore. Like, it just grows. And I've learned that. I know with my wife, I cannot allow that to happen. Like, I got to keep on coming at her until we work it out, because otherwise it'll grow. If I let it go 2 weeks later, it's something else that I'm not even knowing what is going on. And I don't know if that's like that with a lot of people, or some people are like that. But what do you think, Lady T, about that particular instance that I'm saying? Does that happen with you, or have you seen that before, or is that something that
basically when somebody has something going on inside of them, they're not talking about it, type of thing, and you just got to pull it out of them, because that's what you were just giving me in the scenario. Yeah.
But if you don't, it becomes like this another monster that you don't even know what y'all are talking about anymore.
But that's the thing, you and your wife have a great relationship, because you have, brought yourselves to know one another, and you have to know how to maneuver in that conversation, right? You feel the intensity, but you just don't know what to do, right? So like you said, you're the one that's observant. You can see that if you let it sit, your wife, it will grow. And I think that there are a lot of people that do that. I am possibly one of those. I do not express myself very well to people that I think it's more like I like to let things sit, and I'll say something to whoever I'm supposed to say it to, right? But it might be about that other person that I've not even acknowledged and said anything to, but I allow like God to kind of change my heart. Because I have something going on inside of me, right? Whatever ill feelings I might have about somebody else, I got something I got to have God work on me. So it takes me time, and it might take time where I'm not the same. My energy might not be the same, but I feel like I have to just step back and allow God to work in me. So I understand your wife, because I see myself that way. I don't know her way of doing things, but for me, I'm like her in a way. So when I have to, take a step back and not address somebody with the situation that it might be that hurt me or whatever, I think that my mind is set on God, let it be revealed in the right time. I want it to be exactly how it's supposed to be so that words can come out of my mouth freely, because I don't want my emotions to, alter what the purpose of that healing could be. A possibility of healing could happen with our words. And so if I let my emotions of anger, of distrust, because I'm human, we all are human where we're having, to feel those negative energies, right? And I feel like you have to learn to let God work through it and heal yourself. So I Rodney, I don't know what to say, but I understand your wife, but I know because you are a good husband, you are persistent. You are, going to your wife and trying to make it work. And that's really what it's all about. That is a good relationship. That's what I was starting with. Okay. That's what I'm saying. That you're doing good. You might have to, let her just say, take some time. But if you let it brew, you your wife, right? So you trust what you know about your wife. So that's what I'm saying. But I look at it as for me, from my point of view, right? You asked me, man. You asked me.
I got you. I'm listening.
He has to be more humble. That's all. Just humble himself. That's it. That's it. That's all he gotta do.
You're a humble man. Okay? You're a good humble man with your wife.
That's it. He gotta humble himself, But look, watch this. Look, hey Rodney, you say help. Watch this. You say argument is healthy.
Arguing, yes. Arguing can be healthy. Yes.
It can be healthy.
It can be. Yes.
All right. Before you get into that mode of argument, can you see yourself? Not just you. I'm talking to you now. Can you see yourself coming to some type of understanding? You know what? Let me look at it and say it could be me. And before I'm quick to react, that it could be something that I'm doing. So let me look back and say, you know what? Maybe I could change that, and it could be better. Before you get into that argument, do you do that? Do you stop and say, you know what? Maybe, huh?
Yes.
So if you do that, so how can you get to that argument point?
What do you mean?
Before you get,
what do you mean easy? Yeah. Because just because there's something I can change doesn't mean that doesn't mean that there's something that I have to accept.
What? No, if you can change it, you got to accept it, right?
What do you mean? There's certain things. There's things that I don't have to accept anything. What do you mean?
Say that again, Rodney. What you said. Say that again. Accepting.
Yeah, it's just because there's things in myself I can change, and there's also things that I don't have to accept.
All right, in changing, right? When you change it for the greater good, what you mean you don't have to accept? You already changed it for better. You change it for the greater good. So when you change it, you got to accept that change.
No, I'm not talking about accept for myself. I'm talking about accept from the other person. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to accept everything. I mean, just like you said, all right, so like for instance, I'm lost
right now.
All right, well, there's a lot of things that you say I don't agree with. I don't accept it, but I don't got to argue with you about it.
You don't agree with it because what? It doesn't apply to you? I don't understand.
No, because you're wrong. That's why I don't agree with it.
Oh, I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're
I'm
wrong.
Look, I'm wrong in your eyes, right?
No, in general, you're wrong, but it's okay. But
can you give me an example, please? Can you give me an example?
Yeah. When we first got on here, you all right. When we first started this show, and me starting the show with you, having a gospel rapper on here was not something that you believe was a thing of God.
No,
correct?
That's not what I said. That's incorrect.
Right.
I said I wasn't a fan. Now, did I not say that, Lady T? Correct me if I'm wrong. I said I was not a fan. See, now you won't get me fired. I said I was not a fan of gospel rappers. There you go. So God said, "No, I can use anybody." And so God
said that.
No.
God
I'm talking to me.
To me.
I'm telling it to me. He said, "No."
Said that to you. I said you can't do that. I was like,
let's go back to what you said. You didn't agree to me, but I want to know why you didn't agree. Come on, talk.
Well, I already said because God can use everything. Everything is made of Him. Everything is made of God, and therefore everything can, just like anything can be used for evil, it can be used for good.
So where
you know what I'm saying? So
I don't understand the agree is you didn't agree. I'm wrong. What do you mean I'm wrong? Come on, I'm on.
What do you mean? No, because in the beginning you were like, as a Christian you can't do this. As a Christian you can't do that. As a Christian you can't do yoga. As a Christian,
you ain't never hear me say you can't do no yoga. You ain't never hear me say that. So stop. I told you. You better get it right. No, we can go back to the footage. You ain't never hear me say you cannot do yoga. I said, I'm not messing with that.
Astrology.
Yeah. Huh?
Astrology.
Astrology what?
Yeah, you said as a Christian, you can't believe in astrology.
He said that. I remember that.
Yeah. Okay, what's that?
Okay. Why can't you?
You said why can't?
Yeah, because you're thinking astrology as in the normal today's sense of it. Like you're thinking, Taurus and Virgos and all that kind of stuff. But the stars do tell you things. The stars were used in the Bible several times to give messages, to send people, to show them the way of the journey.
Right, hold on. So, let's wait a minute. Hold on. Now, I'm gonna chime in right there. You say astrology, right? Now let's keep it real and let's keep it gangster, for Jesus. Okay. Now check this out. In those times, they did not have the technology that we have right now. So we do not need astrology right now because technology is more advanced. So we don't need to use those things because guess what? We have technology right now that teaches us something totally different. Astrology back in those times, in the ancient times, guess what? They didn't have the technology we have right now.
Google astrology. Astrology is the study of stars. It has nothing to do with. It has nothing to do with.
Listen to what I said.
Nothing to do with.
Technology now is more advanced than it was back then. So they study astrology. Come on, talk to me. I don't hear you talking now.
I'm waiting for you to make a point. You didn't make one.
I just said it. They study astrology back
I
in those
agree with
days.
you. Back in those days is different, and I agree with you, and I'm not disagreeing
now
with you.
We are more advanced right now, and so they manipulate the study of astrology. Let's go. Talk to me. So guess what?
No, I agree with you on that. But that still doesn't mean astrology cannot be used for the glory of God.
They misuse it. And so the astrology
part everything.
So that's
don't misuse.
That's what we talk about, the misuse of astrology. Come on, let's make sure we
misuse the church, they misuse the Bible.
So we're talking
all these things too.
So we're talking about that. We're talking about that aspect of misusing the astrology. We're not talking about you can't use it. See, I'm correct. Well, I'm going to be speaking correctly. It's talking about the misuse of astrology. That's what we're talking about.
That's not what you said back then,
bro. Don't try to get.
I think you said astrology was of the devil, sir. That's exactly what you said.
I'm speaking of the misuse of astrology. Oh, watch this. Do they misuse astrology for demonic things?
Everything.
Nah, we not talking about everything. We talking about that.
Misuse. No, but name something. Your statement doesn't make any sense because everything is misused.
No, it's
name
not.
Something.
That's not.
Give me one thing that is not misused.
Love.
Love is not a thing.
Why it's not?
Like the biggest thing that's
Uh-huh.
misused.
Yeah.
That's
That is
abused.
true. That is true too.
No.
But love is
Good.
not love. All right, but either way, I guess astrology wouldn't be an adamant or object either. But everything is
okay.
misused, and definitely love is definitely misused.
Yes.
No, you know what's
Love
misused?
people manipulate people through
That-
love.
That's in we talking
hey.
about love. They manipulate you. That's it. I ain't talking about love. Love is not. Love is one thing.
They're
It's constant.
manipulating astrology
No,
too.
love is constant. Nah, don't try to change it. Love is constant. Stop it. Stop the nonsense. Love is the same thing every day. Guess what? Somebody say they love you and treat you a different way. That's something totally different. That's the action.
That's misused in love.
Yeah,
And in the name of love. They saying, I love you, but I'm going to take from you.
They ain't love.
You,
Come on. Love is constant.
I'm going to hit you, and I'm going to talk behind your back, and I'm
They
going
love. See, that's not love. That's not love.
They
That's,
love. They
nah,
think
they ain't no.
love. They say it's love, but that's
They
the
fake,
name of
but
love.
they ain't. What you want to
It's
say, Rodney? Yeah.
I want to say that this is a time where I'm going to stop arguing with you because it's obvious that you do not that I cannot work on you from the outside. I will wait for God to work on you from the inside. And I'm going to move on, sir.
He working on you.
Always
And look, he working on you so diligently, and I love it. Everybody, I know, and I love it. And look, and I can't wait. At, I can't wait to the moment he come on the show and he say, "Oh my goodness," he have this zeal about his life, and he like, you know what? I know what y'all was talking about. God is working. He worked it out, and you'll come out like this.
I think he had that.
I'm definitely sure God is going to work it out. That ain't,
yeah, and I can't
wait.
Yes, I know.
Guarantee,
it's brewing up, and I can't wait. I'm like this. I'm in my moped, like I'm ready. To roll up.
I have no idea where he's going, lady.
Don't worry, I'm ready to roll up with you. I'm right here on your side all the time.
The lady T, you do remember him saying that, correct?
I do.
Things that I'm saying. Okay,
that's all.
I just want to make sure that we.
It all the time. I hear it all the time from a lot of Christians. And I think it's a mindset of what the Bible says, and I think that we need to learn the Bible a lot better because there's something in the Bible that is being told about a God that can, love you, and a God that can say, hey, but I'm going to punish you. Remember, there's a reason why there are two behaviors with God. And I think that we need to talk more about it. So, that's just something. I'm glad you be bringing up these topics.
Hey, but hold on, wait a minute. How can you hey Rodney, watch this. Let me God, he just gave me I'm talking about he just gave me something right here for you. How can you study astrology and you can't even study the Bible?
Oh, give me a
break. You
You
can't even break that down.
We look at the weather. We pay attention to when a storm comes. We know when a storm is coming, and we move out the way.
And you prepare.
Because it's not about preparedness. It's about looking up in the sky and seeing what the sky has to say to you. And that is what, yes. The sky speaks.
All right, I got.
Well, let me say this because I ain't saying nothing.
Yeah.
You talked about technology and everything, but guess what? These people back in the day, I'm going to use yours. Guess what? Back in the day, these people, they used their eyes. They didn't have the, binoculars and telescopes. They didn't have none of that. They used their eyes. They laid there and paid attention to the stars, and they knew their knowledge from that. So what we have technology, we are weaker. We're not wiser. We're not wiser in it. We are weaker because our minds can't, look at the sky the way it, city-wise, especially if you live in the suburbs and city, you won't see the sky. You won't see all of the stars. You won't see none of that. So we're blind. And back in the day, they were a lot more educated than us because they had knowledge of looking at the sky. They didn't have technology. They didn't have material things to enhance their view. So respect the fact that these ancestors of ours, they had the knowledge that God gave them, okay? And it was in their body. Now we are sitting up here trying to catch up and trying to do it through a material thing, okay? So I'm sorry, my bad. I just had to put that out there because I feel like you're not respecting our ancestors. You're not respecting our people and who we are as people.
Lady, technology is more advanced now.
It's not about that. You're not looking
no matter the greatest trick the devil will convince you of is that these things that God has clearly put in front of you to help you are not as of him, not of him. If you've never meditated, if you've never took that time to you
for
be
prayer.
in a place and pray and listen and open yourself up to receive what God has for you, because you're worried that the devil is going to come and talk to you, then that's the crazy things that I hear that drives me nuts. It is like, oh, when you do that, you open it up for the devil. You also open it up for God. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm not here looking for the devil and he comes and starts talking to me, then I must be doing something right, because otherwise he wouldn't be talking to me. Otherwise he wouldn't be caring. He'd be like, go ahead, move about to say, I don't want to stop you from doing whatever you're doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that the greatest thing is the devil wants to convince Christians not to do the things that's going to help them get closer to God. It's that simple. It's that simple. And that's what drives me nuts. It just drives me nuts when Christians say that something is of the devil. Then how do you call yourself how do you say that when God created all these things? Now, don't get me wrong. I believe that money is definitely of the devil, because that was not created by God. Money was not created by God. When he talks about giving up 10%, he talks about giving up 10% of your harvest, giving up 10% of what you have grown and done. He's not talking about money. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's something that we've adapted that to. We've adapted that to money. Now he's like, oh, God wants 10% of our money. No, he wants 10% of what you're going out there and producing and growing for his glory. Not, go out there, you make money, here's my 10% and give it to the church. That's man-made. That's man-made. What God need money for? Tell me. Somebody tell me, please. Anybody. And I'll put that in the comments. I'll put it as my word of the day. Tell me what God needs money for.
It's not, but it ain't. It's not for God. It's for the temple. The upkeeping. The
money is
upkeeping.
Man
Hold on.
created.
Watch it. Okay.
God don't need nothing we created. He don't need nothing
hold
we
on.
created.
So let me.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, that's your opinion, right? But let me show you perspective.
Okay.
Let's keep it in a perspective. Let's say you did church at your house, right?
Yeah.
Look, you did. Let's say you did it 4 times in a week. Guess what? And you using electricity, you using water. It has to be paid, and then it's and now you're doing it more frequently. And right now that you're doing it more frequently, the bill is getting more and more. Is greater. Right, and somebody had to pay for that. It's more than what you can handle. So the people that's coming to your house, let's say it start to grow, right? Banks have to be paid, and so you can't do it all by yourself. And so now it bring now the people that's coming, guess what? It's a part of helping you keep up the place. Now, say something breaks down because of the usage of your house. Right? And now it has to be paid. You don't have 30,000 to fix the sewer because you don't got it laying around here. And so that's
an offering. And that is an offering.
That's part of it.
And I'm not saying you can't offer. You can't give offering. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying that I definitely give an offering to my church every Sunday, every time. You know what I'm saying? But we're not required tithes. You know what I'm saying? Because tithes is something that, in my opinion, this is totally my opinion. I'm just giving it out there. It's not what money was not what God intended when he said that, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I believe that it was changed. But yeah, you give offering, you give it's made to give to church. But I mean, that's all it's something that I'm gonna speak more on it as I learn more about it.
There you
go.
Learn more.
I feel. But I mean, hey man, look, I'm being honest with you. Money is, it's still my point is still the same. That money is man-made, and God don't need anything that is made man-made. It's that simple. What does he need it for? He don't need none of it.
You need it, right?
If God wants that thing, no, I don't need it. I don't need it.
Why don't
use it. I use it.
you need it?
But I don't need it. I mean,
you gotta pay your bills. You need it. Don't say you don't need it. You need it. You gotta pay bills. You gotta take care of your family. You need it. God provides for you to have a job, to be able to supply the thing that. All right, so you need it. It's a necessity. Look, it's a necessity that you
it's still
need.
Man-made.
Okay.
No amount of money is going to get you in heaven.
Guess what? Hold on.
God, no amount of money is going to get you in heaven.
God made the man that made money.
What? He even says a rich man getting into the heaven is like a camel going through the eye of a needle.
Yeah.
It's even said. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, dude, you read the Bible, don't you? You know this crap. Like, it's not.
But you taking it out of context.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you
Money is man-made.
I'm not talking about. Yes.
Money is man-made
to provide a service. To provide a service. Let's go.
So what amount of money? What amount of money gets me in heaven?
Look, we not talking about that. We talking about money. I'm talking about money. Money is to provide a service.
You money is the root of all evil. It truly is.
Yes, because you can misuse the money. Yes, you could be a poor steward of the money. Yes.
All right, I'm good. I'm ready to move on again, ladies.
Yeah.
Let's move on again.
Because I'm not going to let you that foolish you talking about. I'm not going to let you get away with that.
A man with no money can get into heaven. Yes. Or for true or false?
Yes.
He can have money.
And a man with money could get into heaven too.
I've read the Bible. Never heard about Jesus going to work. Not once. Hold on, I gotta go to work today to make this money to give to the church. Not once.
Had a giving heart. He served.
Are you going? He served. That's right. That's work.
He served, but he didn't go to work.
That's
make
work.
Money.
That's
he didn't
work.
make money. He didn't go to work to make money to give to the church.
That's why he's saying money is the root of all evil, because it's been transformed into we need money. We have to have
money. Is God.
See, man, hey, man, hold up. Let me go to my man Dave Green. You see what he said? It's not the money that is evil. It's the love of the money that is greed. And that's a sin. Greed. I see, come on back. All right, Dave Green, get at him. Let him know. You hear that? Yeah, it ain't the money. Like he said, it's not the money. It's the greed. That's what it is. That's the sin of it. Come on, talk to me, Rodney. Come on, man. You gotta come on, man.
I know what Rodney's saying, and I agree with Rodney.
Yeah, you could agree with him all you want.
Now, once again, money can be used for good.
I did just say that.
But still, it's still the root of all evil. It's still the easy. To me, it's the easiest one. It's the easiest one to fall a victim of and fall into that trap.
Into heaven. I forgot what you said about the eye, the needle.
The camel going through the eye of a needle.
That's a very good example of.
But you have
that's very important about a rich man. That's why they said, "Follow me, sell all you have, and follow me." And rich people, if you have a lot of money, it's hard for them to let go and sell all they have.
And guess what? No, look, just think about this. The wealthy people, they not focused really on God. They not focused on the desire of God's heart. And that's why he put that in the word, is because that's why you lose focus when you get all this money and you say, you know what, I could buy whatever I want. You lose the focus. And that's not what God wants you to lose, that focus. He don't want you to lose that focus. He still wants you to have the eye on him. Most people can't do that. That's why you say that. And that's why it's in the word. You got to be good steward. He talk about stewardship, discipleship, teaching people how to manage their money correctly, how to budget correctly. You get all this money, you don't know how to budget it. You know, I'm spending on this. I got it like this. I'm spending on this. Are you investing it on something that's going to be prosperous, or are you investing it so you can get more money? Are you giving it to somebody that needs it, or are you giving it to somebody that says, you know what, they can invest. I can invest in this. I can make more money, more money, more money, more money. But are you doing it with a good heart, a good intent, Rodney?
Oh, me? I'm good. I understand. Hey, I'm the one that feels that money's not important.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm the one. I don't feel this. I don't feel it's important. And don't get me wrong. It's something that I'm in that part of my life where money is not important to me anymore. It doesn't rule me. I'm here to do something different, and money, yeah, it's going to take money for me to do it. Don't get me wrong. And God will provide a way, and God has always provided me a job and this, that, and the other. But what I'm saying to you is that God don't need money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like I can say, oh, you know what, God, I did good. I got 10 million. He don't, what does that got to do? That is nothing to do. Your works. It's your works that's going to get, it's what you do. Is when you stand in front of God, he's not going to ask you about your bank account.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying? So money, so what value does money really have? It doesn't really have any value in a spiritual lens. Let's go back to your spiritual lens. In a spiritual lens, money has no value.
All right,
zero.
So let me show you something. I get what you're saying, right? That's your perspective. But watch this. If God provides you with a great job, he's providing you with the finance that you need, the individual that you need. Now, I'm not talking about Lady T. I'm not talking about me, you. And same thing goes for me. I'm walking in my calling. I'm walking into what I do great at. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? It's nothing but God, because like I said, he provided that for me. And I use it to way I'm supposed to use it. I'm not abusing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm being a good steward of it. I provide. I give when I'm supposed to give, and not just keep it all for myself. You understand what I'm saying? So that's my focus. Is that you want to talk about spiritual lens? Guess what? I say, Lord, whatever you have for me, I accept it. I receive it. No matter what. I want to learn from every portion. Every decision I make, I want to be led by God. So when I go to a job, I've been in my job 19 years. Right? But guess what? But prior to that, I had a good job. But God saw fit for me to be at a better place and have more free range to do the things that I do. Not to be lazy, not to be, not focused, but I have a range where I can speak about God. I can encourage people. I can show the love that I have without being with a sexual harassment charge or anything like that, because I'm able to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's corporate, but you got to be mindful what you say. But guess what? I had to be prepared for that. I had to be prepped up for that. And if I wasn't walking what God had for me, the purpose of my life, guess what? I probably wouldn't have had that job. I wouldn't have had it. Because like I said, I'm 30 years old. I'm 48. About to be 49. And if I wasn't humble, didn't look to be humble, guess what? I wouldn't have had it. I would have got fired. And so go back to what I'm saying is that the spiritual aspect of it, I received it. I learned from every situation that came upon me. I learned from. I said, Lord, I want to learn from it. I want to know why I went through this. What's the purpose? Teach me, show me.
Okay. Still stand on what I said.
I know you. Oh, I know you.
Yeah, I still stand on it. So I'm good. I mean,
hey,
humble
thyself.
Oh,
what I got to do with humbleness? I ain't got nothing to do with humbleness.
I didn't say any. All I just said, humble thyself. And Lady T, what you talking about? Oh my goodness, humble thyself.
You know what, Lady T? I'm sorry. I'm sorry about some of the things you have to go through on this show.
Thank you, but that's not real humble of you to even say it.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, come on, man.
What you mean? I said something in peace. I didn't say nothing to be like a stab at him or nothing like that. I said humble thyself. That's it. What's wrong with that? I wasn't being sarcastic. I was just saying humble thyself. That's it.
Ronnie get it.
I get it.
Oh, y'all want tag team. Oh, y'all look. It's tag team Tuesday, y'all.
Like I said, man, I let God work on the inside. I'm just I'm giving you the surface, and then I'll plant that seed for God and let him work on it as you read and learn more. So
Lord, thank you. I praise you. I thank you. because I can't wait to see that transformation.
Me too. I can't wait either.
I'll
You
be
know
like
what I'm
this.
saying?
Lady T gonna be like this. Eyes gonna be wide open. She gonna be like this. Oh my goodness, I know Chef Dennis said that. Yeah, I did. You gonna be with us tomorrow, Ronnie?
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah. We got another. We got. Somebody. Oh yeah. Somebody put something else up. I didn't even see that. Here we go.
You gonna read it or you just gonna look at it?
Lady T, you can read because I ain't got my glasses. I gotta put my glasses on.
Most rich people believe they have the power. They are God to be worshipped. Back to tithes. They would put aside 10% of the grains, food, etc., and store it so that if there was a drought, famine, etc., that 10% will be set aside to help the people in need that was in need.
See? And that's part.
And it transformed into the church.
Mm-hmm.
So that is
money.
why, that is why Rodney says what he says, which I understand.
Man, you can understand all you want. I promise you. Look, people that watch this, and I will say this: people that don't tithe, I guarantee the people who do tithe, they do budget their money well. The people who don't tithe and go to church and don't tithe, they don't budget their money well. They don't budget their money. They spend on foolishness. I promise you that.
Don't know for sure.
I promise you that. I promise you that.
I tag offering every single time.
That's
every single time, and I'm being honest with you. I do. I put money in the offering plate every single time. Every single Sunday I go to church, I put money in the offering plate, and I tag offering. And my 10% goes to people every time. I give food to people. I do anything I need to do.
Look, you ain't got to tell us that. That's between you and God. I want to know that.
And God, I'm not afraid of you. I'll say it out loud if I want to. Don't tell me what I can and cannot say. I can say it, and I said it, and I meant it.
Look at this. Look, don't be so violent and so aggressive. Look, dog, this is what we do. Look, this is what we do. We have fun here. Say it ain't so serious. You can't look. That's what I'm telling. We love here, man. This ain't no fight. People they already go at
everybody's opinion.
Yeah, that's it. That's how we do here from the battle to the glory. That's what it's all this serious. You can't have no fun and laugh.
But I mean, to be honest with you, that's what we as Christians need to do it so much more. You know what I'm saying? I talk about one thing I believe that the church should be into is really, now don't get me wrong, I understand that every sermon on every Sunday ain't for everybody, but it should still be a place where we can talk about real issues and it's not sugar coated and it's not things like that. We have a men's group at my church where we coming in, we're able to talk about the more hardcore topics. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that every church should have that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sunday service, sometimes you're feeding the soul and this, that, and the other. But when you have those real true live questions like this one, I really want it broken down to me. You know what I'm saying? And I want to do my own reading and do my own research and stuff like that. But that's just how I feel. So there we go.
So yeah. Go ahead, Lady. You want to say something?
No, I didn't want to say anything. I was just listening. So
listen, guys. I wanted to tell you guys. I really need you guys to pray for Styles P Styles today. Because he's going through something right now. Like I said, I don't expose his business, but make sure y'all pray for him. There's some, I mean, really pray that God cover him as well as covers us. This is going to conclude our show. And listen, guys, we will see you tomorrow with a new guest who has a lot of zeal, a lot of fire for God. So know this. Get ready to put your seatbelts on, strap in your seats, get your coffee ready, because tomorrow is going to be a good episode. And so we'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe to that channel. Share it to somebody. They may be encouraged. They may be uplifted in the spirit. In Jesus' name, I thank you. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Oh, somebody. Hold on. I got before I go, somebody made another comment. I gotta put that up. Hold on. Hey, yo, Rodney, I think it's a shot at you. But
Not a shot at me. I know him very much, man.
Oh, it's not.
Nah, I know David Green. That's my boy. He's another comedian. You know, he's a comedian.
Yeah. Yeah. Styles P is a rapper. David Green. Yeah, he's a rapper.
No, he's thinking you're not your boy. Your boy, his name was Pete something. It wasn't Styles P. Styles P is the rapper from The Lock.
What I said?
You said Styles P. Styles P is
not. No, it's not.
Is Pete Styles or
Pete Styles. Pete Styles.
Yeah.
All right.
Styles P is a rapper from The Locks.
Yeah. I said the wrong person.
That's all good.